If you are like me, you love a game that starts as a quick session and turns into a full-on gaming night. The Switch is perfect for that because you can play on the couch, in bed, or handheld on a trip, and suddenly you are way deeper than you planned. So here are 10 single-player games on the Nintendo Switch family that I can play for hours without getting bored. Some are huge open worlds, some are long RPGs, and some are just one more mission traps in the best way. Let's get into it. Tears of the Kingdom is the game where I sit down for one more shrine and suddenly it is midnight. Hyrule is huge, but the real hook is the sandbox. I love grabbing random junk, snapping it together, and watching a plan that should not work somehow work. Every sky island, cave, and ruined fort turns into a little science experiment with physics. The main story is great, but the side stuff is what steals my hours. Shrines, armor sets, Koroks, mini-bosses, and goofy self-made challenges like no fast travel runs. Even just wandering for materials to upgrade gear feels satisfying. If you enjoy creativity, discovery, and getting pleasantly distracted, this one can eat weeks of your gaming life. I also keep replaying fights in different ways because the tools let me solve problems like a puzzle every time. Octopath Traveler is my comfort JRPG when I want a long adventure with classic turn-based battles, but modern style. The HD 2D look is gorgeous, and the 8 separate stories give you a just one chapter rhythm that keeps pulling you back. I like picking a starting hero, then slowly building a party and experimenting with job combos. The break and boost system makes even random fights feel tactical, because timing matters more than grinding mindlessly. On top of that, there are side quests, optional bosses, and plenty of towns to poke around in for gear and secrets. It is also the kind of game I can play handheld in short bursts, then lose an entire weekend to dungeon crawling. If you miss old-school Final Fantasy vibes, Octopath is a deep, relaxing time sink. The music keeps me lingering in menus.
Now then, I will cut you down!
I'm ready.
Super Mario Odyssey is the Switch game I boot up when I want pure fun. Then I accidentally chase Power Moons for hours. The main campaign is already packed with clever kingdoms, but the real addiction is the post-game checklist. Every world hides tiny puzzles, platforming gauntlets, and weird little moments where you think, wait, can I do that? Cappy makes movement feel like a toy box, so mastering jumps turns into its own hobby. I love doing clean runs, hunting down every purple coin, and trying to beat my own time in the tougher challenges. It is also great for quick sessions because you can grab a few moons and feel progress fast. If you enjoy skill-based collecting and secret hunting, Odyssey is basically endless comfort food. Even after the credits, I still find new tricks and hidden rooms. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is the kind of JRPG that becomes your daily routine. The world is massive, and the story keeps throwing emotional punches. But what really eats time is the system depth. You are constantly unlocking new classes, mixing skills, and tweaking your party until battles feel just right. I also love how side quests actually matter, with characters that develop over long chains instead of quick fetch jobs. Exploring the zones is a whole thing too, because you will spot a landmark, climb up, and suddenly you are in a secret cave with a unique monster. The soundtrack makes wandering feel epic, even when you are just gathering items. By the time I finished the main story and most hero quests, my playtime was seriously wild. If you like big stories and bigger menus, this is it forever. Fire Emblem Three Houses is a strategy game that I never finished just once. You pick a house, teach your students, and then watch them grow into monsters on the battlefield. The battles are satisfying, but the time sink is the planning. I will spend ages deciding who becomes a wyvern rider, who learns healing, and which skills to focus on. Between fights, the monastery life adds a loop of exploring, talking to everyone, cooking, fishing, and training. Then there is the replay value. Different routes change major story beats. Different recruits create new team combos, and higher difficulties push you to think harder about every move. Persona 5 Royal is one of those games where the calendar system makes hours vanish. I will say, I will play one in-game day, and then I keep going because I want to see the next story beat. The mix of real life and dungeon crawling is perfect. You go to school, hang out with friends, raise stats, then dive into a palace and plan your next heist. Combat is turn-based, but it is fast and stylish, especially when you exploit weaknesses and chain all-out attacks. Royal adds even more content, so the adventure feels huge without feeling padded. What I enjoy most is the cast. Building confidant links makes you care about everybody, and the payoffs hit hard. If you want a long single-player RPG with a killer soundtrack, this is an easy play for months pick for sure. The Witcher 3 on Switch still feels like a magic trick. It is a huge open world, but the part that keeps me playing is the quest writing. You ride into a little village for a simple contract, and it turns into a messy story with choices that actually sting. I also love how much there is to do without it feeling like busy work. Monster hunts, treasure maps, Gwent matches, and side quests that feel like mini episodes. The complete edition includes the big expansions, so once you think you are done, the game basically hands you another full adventure. Combat is not the deepest thing ever, but it is satisfying when you prep oils and potions like a real monster hunter. If you want a long story-driven RPG that you can take anywhere, Geralt will steal your free time. Monster Hunter Rise is my go-to just one hunt game because one hunt becomes 5, then you are crafting a new set, then you are testing it, and the night is gone. It works great solo since you can bring buddies, and the difficulty scales, so you do not need a full squad to have fun. The loop is simple but addictive. Learn a monster, beat it cleaner next time, and turn its parts into better gear. Every weapon plays differently, so even after dozens of hours, I will swap from longsword to hammer and feel like I'm learning a new game. Rise also keeps rewarding you with new quests, tougher versions, and little skill tweaks for builds. If you like action combat and steady progress, this is an easy hundreds of hours file on Switch for me.
Excellent. That's my ace.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is the single-player RPG I recommend when someone says they want choices that actually matter. The story is long, but the bigger time sink is messing with builds and finding creative solutions. Combat is turn-based, yet it feels like a playground because the environment is part of the fight. You can freeze a puddle, electrify it, set oil on fire, or teleport an enemy into their own mess. Outside of battles, you can talk, sneak, steal, or charm your way through quests, and the game reacts in surprising ways. I have restarted runs just to see how a different origin character changes conversations. The definitive edition runs well on Switch, and handheld mode is perfect for slow, thoughtful sessions. If you like planning, role-playing, and replaying, this one will chew up your evenings again and again.
Doesn't it?
Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition finally lets me live in Night City on a Nintendo handheld, but this one is for Nintendo Switch 2. If you like open-world RPGs, it is the classic problem. You start a main quest, then you spot a side gig, then you chase a new cyberware build, and the map keeps expanding. I love experimenting with playstyles, like going full stealth hacker one week and loud shotgun brawler the next. The story quests are chunky, but the city is the real star, packed with alleys, shops, random events, and little conversations that sell the vibe. Ultimate Edition also includes the Phantom Liberty expansion, which adds even more missions and gear to grind for, so yeah. If you want a long solo game with a lot of freedom and mood, this is an easy way to lose weekends. Alright, that's my list of single-player Switch time sinks, the games that always turn into long sessions for me. If you have one that always steals your time, drop it in the comments, because I am always looking for my next obsession. And if you want more Switch 1 and Switch 2 lists like this, you know what to do. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.